Hey guys, Aaron Geezy here of Geeztown. Just hanging out of the studio. You can see they're doing some construction around here outside my spot. But yeah, just hanging out. Wanted to take a minute and tell you guys about my new song that I just put out called She Blocked Me, and tell you guys a little bit of the story behind the song. And I mean, obviously the song is about social media and it's about getting blocked, but you know, it was inspired by a lot of things. Inspired by, you know, a few personal experiences of mine, but also just inspired by just like what's going on in society and the craziness of it all. I mean, we live in a time when we're more connected than we've ever been, yet we're divided because people are just, you know, like intolerant of different viewpoints, different opinions. And you know, it's kind of sad to think about, but that's just kind of how things are. There's this show called Black Mirror. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it, but they did an episode where, like you know, they do these episodes. They make these. Each episode is different, but it's somewhere in the future, and it's somewhere like, you know, this technology we have now has gone horribly wrong, right? So in the future, it's like you can block people in real life, like where you'll be walking down the street and you won't see them. They'll just be like this blur, and you won't be able to talk to each other. And it's just this weird thing. This guy, you know, he's with this girl, and this girl just like tells him that he's pregnant, tells him that she's pregnant, and then blocks him. And he's like, oh my God, you know, I'm never going to be able to see my kid. So he spends like his whole life and he can't talk to her because he's blocked, and it's like this weird blur and everything. And so he eventually like finds, I think, the woman's father, and, you know, eventually sees this kid and finds out it's like, you know, this Asian kid, and neither of them are Asian, and obviously it wasn't his. So it's like he spent all this time, and, you know, just because being blocked, you know, I had no communication, and just really terrible situation. But, you know, I saw that, and that was, you know, some of the inspiration. In me personally, you know, I've been blocked in a few different situations. Tell you about a couple of them. One of them, I was banned from a website. All right, that's called. There used to be this website. I don't think it's around anymore, but it was called Absolute Punk, and it was kind of famous. I guess Fall Out Boy got really popular on that before they got big, and I think maybe a few other bands kind of had some success with that. So it's this music website, and I went on there to post my music, and they had some kind of rule like you have to comment on, you know, like 25 other things or something before you can post anything, or something dumb like that. So I thought, okay, you know, I'll get into a political discussion. That'll be back and forth a lot, real quick, you know, easy way to get my 25 comments, right? So I went to they had a political topic board, right? So that should have been, you know, okay place to talk about politics. And I guess my first clue should have been that there was no conservative, you know, board topic posts. You know, they're all left-wing liberal. So I just went on there and just started saying some stuff and went back and forth, and didn't go very long. I didn't quite get in enough comments to post my music before I was banned. Okay, this is from a website called Absolute Punk. And if you think about it, it's really ironic because, you know, what's punk known for? I mean, it's known for being a little bit, you know, having the unpopular opinion, being a little bit outspoken, you know, being a punk, right? So I got banned from Absolute Punk from having the unpopular opinion and being outspoken. So ironic, right? But you know, that kind of stuff, like, that's just my experience. I hear about that kind of stuff happening with other people all over all the time. I mean, there's that whole thing with Alex Jones and you know, a lot of those guys, Laura Loomer. Hopefully this video doesn't get banned or something just from mentioning those names. But you know, like, look into that stuff, guys. It's crazy what's going on. You know, it's all this, like, yeah, it's just insane. I mean, the censorship that's going on. And this is, you know, America. This is supposed to be where we have freedom of speech, where, like, you know, even if you don't agree, people should at least be able to say it. And you know, and I really believe that strongly because, That's how we get through stuff, is we talk about it. If you don't like someone's opinion, you don't just shut them up and no, you can't talk. That's not going to solve anything. No, you need to talk to each other, work it out, figure it out, and at the end of the day, let the best idea win. I remember hearing stories from, I think it was one of the pastors at my church told a story about this guy that was a minister, pastor, preacher, whatever you want to call him. And, he was a black guy, but he would call up members of the Ku Klux Klan and talk to them and just be like, hey, why do you hate me? Like, what's wrong? And he collected their robes after they realized, like, oh, wow, why am I doing this? This is dumb. And he had, a collection of robes that people just gave him. They were like, I'm not going to be a Ku Klux Klan member anymore. Because he just went and talked to him and listened to him and heard him out and, and just gave him, like, some people just don't know what they don't know. You got to talk to people. That's how things work. And that's why it's so dangerous that society is becoming like this, where, we're just blocking each other and censoring each other and no one talks. It's all, there's a line in my song that says, we're left alone with our personal clones, and there's nothing left that we don't already know. That's what happens. You just get in this bubble. All your friends have the same opinions you do, because if they don't, you just block them, and then you don't ever learn anything. You already know everything, right? That's what happens. But one other quick experience that I had that inspired the song, and really a lot of the lyrics came from this. But there's this girl that I hadn't seen in years. All right, I had known her, been friends with her, maybe a little bit after high school sometime, and she just randomly friend requested me on Facebook. I was like, okay, what's up? I haven't seen you in forever. What are you up to these days and all that? And within a couple of days, she had posted something. It was the ACLU asking money. They basically wanted to shut down the Salvation Army because they thought, I think the government was giving them money or something, and I don't know. And they're like, but it's a religious organization, and they're helping people. Freedom of speech or freedom of religion is another big thing that we have here, and you shouldn't be taking that away. And anyway, I just made some comment like that, just saying what I just told you. We have freedom of religion too. You're helping people. They're fulfilling a need in society. What's wrong with this? Stop trying to take their money away. And from that comment, that was it. There's no discussion. There's nothing, no warning. It was just, you're blocked. That's it. Not dealing with you, And, yeah. And, I've had situations like that happen too. I can say, I can say I've been guilty of it in the past at some points where, I don't know, I've learned a lot as I've grown older. In my younger days, I was a lot more controversial and saying stuff. And I guess, I don't know if that's good or bad, that, the fact that getting blocked and having bad experiences with people kind of made me tone down a little bit maybe, or I don't know. I think part of it is just people skills and handling it. But, at the end of the day, we need to be able to talk to each other. We need to be able to work things out. And I don't think just blocking people for, the second they disagree with you on something is the answer. I think communication is vital. That's what we need more of in society. So that's the story behind the song, She Blocked Me. Hope you guys like the song. You can check it out on my website, Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video.